Hey, you've got a French light.
What's that?
French light. It's when you light a cigarette and it only lights up halfway. It's supposed to mean you're gonna fall in love.
Well, you have one too. What's that supposed to mean?
Hi everyone, I'm Dom Griffin, I'm a film critic and you're watching the Armchair Auteur. This is an ongoing video series I do where we talk about new movies, old movies, screenplay analysis, that sort of thing. So if you like film culture and movies, you like to see people pick it apart, please consider subscribing. Today we're going to be reviewing the new film Sylvie's Love, which is a new Amazon Prime flick that came out today on streaming, and it stars Tessa Thompson. So in some ways, and like don't get mad about this, I feel like Sylvie's Love has a lot in common with the movie La La Land, largely due to the fact that both films are romances, both films feature a lot of jazz, and both films have like a very curated sort of throwback vibe meant to evoke the Technicolor era of Hollywood. The major difference is that Sylvie's Love isn't a musical and there's like way more black people. In the film, Tessa Thompson plays Sylvie, a married young mother working as an assistant to one of the only black female television producers in the industry. The film is set in the late 50s, roughly like Mad Men time, basically. Her husband Lacey, played by Alano Miller from WGN's show Underground, is an ad man who just wants a traditional wife and wishes she wouldn't expend so much energy at what he sees as her frivolous job so she could be more available to make pot roast for his clients. But Sylvie still pines for saxophone player Robert, played by former NFL player turned thespian Nnamdi Asomugha, a man she met 5 years ago while working at her dad's record store when her then fiancé was off fighting the war in Korea. The two had a summer romance that ended too soon, unbeknownst to Robert, ending in Sylvie getting pregnant, revealing that her son with Lacey is actually Robert's. Much of the film hews closer to Sylvie's perspective, focusing on the battle she has to fight between living up to the ideal her husband and mother expect for her to be a respectable housewife, and the kind of life her father would support her having, where she works to be who she wants and not what others expect. The movie's most interesting stuff surrounds her predicament as a wife trying to advance in her career in television, working on an early cooking show. There's a scene where she's watching the host, played by Reno 911's Wendy McClendon-Covey, joke around with blue humor on set, and she wonders why the producers don't let her be more herself on the show, a change she personally makes later when she's promoted that improves the program. But the love story itself is a little dry for me. Thompson and Asomugha have about as much chemistry as any two hot, convincingly attractive people can have, but their romance doesn't transcend the bare minimum for being watchable. Sure, you root for them to get together in the end, but you don't yearn for it the way you do in the best romances. I think some of that is the non-linear framing of the story that makes the obstacles keeping them apart far too easy. I think Alano Miller is an underrated actor. Met him in person for an interview and he was a really great guy, but the second I saw him in the cast list, I knew he was going to be playing the light-skinned interloper the audience will immediately hate. He's not given enough texture for that central conflict to be interesting. From the second he starts in with his stay in the kitchen rhetoric, you're ready for him to get broomed to the side. Not necessarily because Robert is such a better option, but because literally anyone would be a worthwhile alternative. The film also sort of mirrors La La Land in its exploration of music and commerce and how it is difficult to make a living as an artist and how men in particular can be expected to choose between being a provider and fulfilling their dreams. But the film's third act, focusing so much on the logistics of raising a family and work, feels muddled because the character's miscommunication and hardship feels incredibly easy to be resolved, so much so that it's randomly hand-waved away at the ending. In a romance, you've got to put real dramatic work into keeping a couple apart, so that when they finally end up together, it feels like a triumph. But Sylvie's Love crescendos in a foregone conclusion. Sure, the costume design and visuals are all very solid, capturing the vibe of an old Hollywood romance in a charming manner. And, you know, at a very base level, it's nice to see a coherent and entertaining love story told with this style in a predominantly black cast. That alone feels like a win. I just wish it stuck the landing a little better so it could be something really special. Sylvie's Love is available to stream on Amazon Prime today. It's like a nice movie, it's fun, I think it's cute, it's like a good time. If you like watching movies and you feel like there's not enough of a certain type of genre from a black perspective, this is definitely that. I just think it doesn't really go far enough to be much more than that. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you check the movie out. If you have already seen it or plan to see it or have any thoughts about it once you have seen it, hit me up in the comments below. I'm always around for a little conversation. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. Hit the little bell icon to get notifications when I put out new videos. I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, being good to each other and yourselves, wearing your masks, all that jazz. See you guys in the next one. Bye.